It really is. Hello, everybody. Goodness
Hi.
me, has it been a long time? I don't know. I hope you all had a great festive season, and I hope you're enjoying 2026. Oh my word! I need a haircut. You can see it when you see your face on a camera, and you go, "Oh, I need a haircut." But anyway, what have I come on here today to talk about? There's a lot of stuff someone can talk about if they're a content creator, right? Could have talked about Bondi and what happened over there at the end of 2025. I could have come on and talked about Venezuela and whatever that is. Could have come on and talked about something that got me into this whole video thing in the beginning, and that was how the families in the Idaho case with Brian Koberger, the families are now suing WSU. I could have talked about that. I could have talked about the fallout of Charlie Kirk's assassination with TP USA and various factions there. That's kind of a bit nasty. I sort of went on Twitter one day and said, wow, never thought you could make an online space awkward, but people have managed to make Twitter awkward. So there's that. Could come on there and talk about that. What else? Because you see, I did make a list. I made a list. Where the hell did I put my glasses? Where did Vanessa put her glasses? Don't know where I put my glasses. So we'll just squint, I guess. Right. So of all those things I could have spoken about, what I want to talk about is Hunter Biden. I want to talk about Hunter Biden. I caught Sean Ryan doing an interview with Hunter Biden. I've always been very curious about this person, Hunter Biden. Right before the lead up to the election, he was everywhere. He was, for all intents and purposes, attacked. I'm not making a judgment on whether or not he should have been attacked, but he was. Far be it for me to sort of defend crack addicts. That I don't like them. They trigger some kind of gag reflex in me that is, I think, pretty natural. But Hunter Biden, he is quite unique. I didn't know much about him. I didn't realize just how tragic his life had been, starting from the car accident which took his mother, his biological mother, and his baby sister, and that landed him and Beau Biden in hospital for quite a while. You know what? Actually, this is what I did want to do. I've never seen a picture of Beau Biden, so I'm going to do that now, because you know that Hunter and Beau are like a year and 1 day apart, and they just sound like they were joined at the hip. So let's have a look at what Hunter Biden looks like. Not Hunter, Beau. Beau Biden. Beau Biden. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, that's Beau Biden. Interesting. Wow. I don't know what to say. I thought he was going to look more like Hunter. Definitely the more sensible of the two. Yeah. That guy was going to go places, wasn't he? Damn. All right. I was not expecting Beau Biden to look like that. I thought he was going to look like an even more handsome version of Hunter. Anyway, so, okay. After the Sean Ryan thing, the interview with him, which it was like 5 hours, okay? It was 5 hours. I decided to get the memoir, Beautiful Things. I'll give you the tip right now. There's not a lot of beautiful things in there. It is like a real life version of Breaking Bad. I know way too much about crackology, as he likes to call it. I know way too much about crack, the effects of drug addiction, and it just it's that. I don't mean to shit all over someone's memoir when they've had such a tragic life, but there's not a lot of beautiful stuff in there. Anyway, what do I want to say about Hunter Biden? Hunter Biden, he will defend his father until the day he dies. I don't know if that's an act or what. But he hasn't got one bad word to say about his father. He is like the best advocate for Joe Biden that you could ever come across. They're obviously a very close-knit family, and that's fine. That's Irish. I'm Italian. I understand all of that. But I can't help, he tries really hard to disassociate himself from the Washington scene. He tries really hard to set himself apart from that. But the one thing that becomes abundantly clear when you watch the Sean Ryan interview and read the book, I listened to the book. I didn't read it. I listened to it and he narrated it, and I've never heard someone be so bored. But I listened to the audiobook of Beautiful Things. And the one thing that becomes abundantly clear is that this guy and his brother had the best political apprenticeship anyone could ever have. Like, if there was ever an heir apparent to any kind of political sort of future, it would be someone like Hunter Biden. Like, you know, he is a swamp creature. He might not want to say that he's sort of that Washington set, but he is as swamp creature-ish as they come. He really is. And I literally just had to edit this part on at the end of that whole swamp creature tirade. I don't usually try to do that because I cannot do this copy and pasting and shit for videos. But anyway, okay. So I was saying Hunter Biden defends his father to the nth degree, had the best apprenticeship in politics, and the memoir goes into just how much he is involved in international affairs. This is no novice. This guy is, and he says it. He goes, I was quite qualified to be on the board of Burisma. And putting all of his addictions and his problems aside, I hate to say it, but he kind of is. From the standpoint that he's a power broker behind the scenes. There's no denying that. He is one of those people that is kind of pulling strings on a world stage. I don't think there is any denying that. Okay? So he was absolutely qualified to be on the board of Burisma. I wouldn't be surprised if he is involved some way in the US being over there in Ukraine right now, which is absolutely stunning because he's a freaking crack addict, alcoholic, degenerate. Sorry, Hunter, I'm sorry. I do like you and your art, but it is what it is, okay? Anyway, Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden. I wrote so much stuff down, and it's all escaping me because of the Chenin Blanc. It's all escaping me now. What I want to say about Hunter. I think I wanted to come on here and say, you underestimate that man at your peril. He is one of the canniest political operators I have laid eyes on. From the Sean Ryan show. I mean, when I try to sort of analyze a person, I just become saturated in everything about them. So I've listened and listened and listened to the memoir, and I have watched as much as I can tolerate of that Sean Ryan interview. And I sort of had to draw the line right at the end when they were going to say a prayer. I'm really sorry, but I ain't going to listen to either of you guys say a prayer. Say a prayer in private. Don't. I just drew the line there, and I'm not shaming anybody, okay? Hunter Biden, you underestimate him. It feels like this memoir thing of his is a sort of it's a purge, it's a tell-all, an expose on his life, and he's what is he, in his mid-50s, 55, 56, can't remember. I would not be surprised if somewhere down the line he makes a go at some kind of political comeback. I wouldn't be surprised. And he has the chutzpah to do it. This guy is unbelievable. He's something else. I mean, if he hadn't have gotten dragged down with this addiction, seriously, Hunter Biden, let's face it, he's so handsome. He is so handsome. He could have been a model, right? If you take the whole crack thing away, he's really handsome. He is incredibly intelligent. I don't know. There's two reasons why he might have gone down the crack, the drug addict, drunk way of life. Third edit, okay? As I was saying, there is a couple of reasons why Hunter Biden might have gone down that path of drug addict, alcoholic, right? And one of them, which is, it's pretty obvious, is that from the accident where he had the skull fracture, he had the head injury. This is a problem. It's not a joke. Head injuries as a child can really impact you later on in life. So that's one. And then the second reason why he might have gone down that road is that maybe he was just too intelligent for his own good and he's bored. That happens. I have seen really smart people just be bored. And if you couple that with the kind of tragedy that he had, and I'm not making excuses because Hunter Biden makes enough excuses for himself. He lays it on thick in the memoir. But like I said, him and his brother, 1 year and 1 month apart, that's a pretty close bond. That's a close bond. And I'm not going to detract from that. But yeah, it goes to show you money or wealth or connections or whatever, it doesn't discriminate, Rough. And he says it, if he were to fall back into it, if he were to fall back into that sort of addiction, try a drug or maybe drink, it's pretty sure he might die. It's a bit heavy. So That's all I wanted to say. Like, he's someone to watch. Hunter Biden is someone to watch. This guy grew up with some serious Cold War people around him. He for his age, he's grown up around people like Kissinger. Like, I'm not saying he grew up around Kissinger, but he's grown up around that mentality. He is so, like, he sees communists everywhere. That is totally stuck in his psyche. Yeah. And if you think about it, that kind of feels like where we're going with the whole Russia thing. Venezuela, America can take Venezuela and it's going for Greenland because it's its sphere of influence, but Putin, Ukraine, oh no, you can't take Ukraine. How dare you try and have influence in Ukraine? I don't even care. A bit like Tim Dillon in that regard. I don't care. But, there's only so far that cognitive dissonance can take you before you start to go a little bit batty yourself. And that's all I wanted to say. Hunter Biden. Don't drink, don't do drugs, Hunter. You can't afford it. And on that note, whoever listened to this crap, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you around. Bye.